Could this be the tournament that finally shakes up the world of football? It's the FIFA Club World Cup, but not as you know it. In 2025, it's exploding onto the scene with 32 teams and a brand new format. This isn't just about crowning a champion, it's about potentially reshaping the global landscape of club football, giving more teams a shot at glory, and challenging the established order. So, where did this Club World Cup thing even come from? Well, its history goes back a bit. Think of it like this. Before there was a Club World Cup, there was something called the Intercontinental Cup. That was basically a showdown between the kings of Europe, the Champions League winners, and the kings of South America, the Copa Libertadores winners. It was a straight-up battle to see who was the best on the planet. Fast forward a few years and FIFA wanted to make things bigger and better. So, they created the FIFA World Cup. The first one was actually held way back in 2000 in Brazil, and it was a pretty interesting tournament to say the least. So, who played in that first Club World Cup? Well, you had some big names like Real Madrid, Spain, Manchester United, England, Vasco da Gama, and Corinthians, both from Brazil, Necaxa, Mexico, Al Nassr, Saudi Arabia, Raja Casablanca, Morocco, and South Melbourne, Australia. It was a mix of teams from all over the world, which was pretty cool. And who ended up winning? It was a Brazilian team, Corinthians, who beat Vasco da Gama in the final. That first tournament had some exciting moments, but it also had some organizational issues, and it took a few years for the Club World Cup to really find its footing. Here's the thing, the Club World Cup hasn't always been a massive deal. A lot of people see it as a nice-to-have trophy, but not the trophy to win. And let's be honest, the teams from Europe have pretty much dominated it over the years. It's rare to see a team from outside Europe or South America even get close to winning. So, the current Club World Cup has a few problems. Not enough teams get to play, the results are often predictable, and it's hard to get fans really excited about it compared to, let's say, the Champions League or the World Cup. So, let's ditch what we know about the old Club World Cup. The 2025 edition is going to be a whole new ballgame. We're talking a massive 32 teams hitting the pitch. That's like almost the size of the actual World Cup itself. So, how do teams even get a golden ticket to this party? Well, it's a mix of things. First off, if you win the Champions League in Europe or the Copa Libertadores in South America, you're automatically in. Think of it as winning your league and getting a direct pass, but it's not just about winning big trophies. FIFA is also using a ranking system based on how teams have performed in their continental competitions over the last 4 years. So, even if you didn't lift a trophy, but you've been consistently reaching the semi-finals or the finals, you've got a good shot at qualifying. It rewards consistency, which is pretty cool. But what's the big deal about this new format? Well, it means we're going to see way more teams from Africa, Asia, and North America getting a chance to shine on the world stage. It's a chance for those smaller footballing nations to prove they can hang with the big boys from Europe and South America. And that means we could see some major upsets. Imagine a team from, say, Saudi Arabia knocking out a European giant like Bayern Munich. That's the kind of drama that could unfold. It's like the FA Cup on steroids, but with teams from all over the world. Of course, money talks in football, and this new Club World Cup is a big payday for the teams involved. The prize money is going to be massive, and the exposure they'll get is priceless. It's a chance for clubs to boost their brand, attract new sponsors, and really put themselves on the map. Alright, so why is everyone buzzing about this new Club World Cup? What's the big deal? Well, let's talk about the potential upside, the good stuff that could come from this revamped tournament. First up, it's a chance to globalize the game. For years, football has been dominated by Europe and South America. This tournament gives teams from other parts of the world a chance to mix it up with the big boys. It's a chance for clubs from Africa, Asia, and North America to show what they've got on a truly global stage. Think about it. A team from, say, Algeria or Japan getting to play against Real Madrid or Liverpool. That's huge. It can inspire young players in those countries and help grow the sport at the grassroots level. It's like planting a seed for the future of football in those regions. And let's not forget the money. A bigger tournament means more money for everyone involved. Just to give you an idea of the potential impact, FIFA estimates that the 2025 Club World Cup it could generate over $2 billion in revenue and attract a global television audience of over 3.7 million fans attending the meeting in 11 venues. That's a lot of eyeballs on the tournament and a lot of money flowing into the game. Before we get too carried away, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This new Club World Cup isn't all sunshine and rainbows. First up, the biggest headache: fixture congestion. The football calendar is already packed tighter than a sardine can. Players are already running on fumes with domestic leagues, Champions League, international breaks, and now this massive 32-team tournament thrown into the mix. We're talking about players who could be playing over 70 games a season. That's mental. And here's another curveball. The tournament is being held in the middle of the American summer. We're talking about players running around in scorching heat for 90 minutes. That's not just uncomfortable, it's potentially dangerous. Player welfare should come first, but it feels like it's taking a back seat to making money. Then there's the attendance problem. Early reports from the tournament show half-empty stadiums in some matches. Why? Well, ticket prices have been through the roof. FIFA priced out regular fans, and now they're left with empty seats and a poor atmosphere. Football without passionate fans, it's like fish and chips without the salt. It just doesn't work. Will European dominance continue? Even with all these extra teams, let's be honest, the gap between the top European clubs and everyone else, it's still massive. Real Madrid, Man City, and Bayern Munich have war chests that most other clubs can only dream of. They can afford the best players, the best coaches, and the best facilities. Will this tournament actually level the playing field, or will it just be the same old story with a bigger cast? And finally, there's fan fatigue. We're already drowning in football matches every week. Are fans ready for another major tournament every 4 years? There's a risk that people might just switch off because there's too much football to keep track of. Sometimes less is more. So, here we are at the final whistle. The big question we started with: is the FIFA World Cup really going to change football? This new tournament is a bit like a transfer gamble. It could be the signing of the century, or it could flop harder than a Sunday league penalty kick. On one hand, we've got some exciting possibilities: more teams getting their shot at glory, players from smaller clubs rubbing shoulders with the world's best, and the chance for some massive upsets that could shake up the football world. It's like giving the underdogs a proper chance to park the bus against the big boys and maybe even nick a result. The money's there, the stage is set, and the opportunity to globalize football has never been bigger. We could see the next Messi or Ronaldo emerge from a club that most people have never heard of. That's the beautiful thing about football. It's unpredictable. But let's not ignore the warning signs. Player burnout is real, the calendar is already stuffed, and there's a genuine risk that this becomes another money-grabbing exercise that leaves fans feeling shortchanged. Empty stadiums and exhausted players, they're not exactly a recipe for success. The truth is, only time will tell if this gamble pays off. One thing's for sure, the 2025 FIFA World Cup is going to be a make-or-break moment for FIFA. They're putting all their chips on the table, and we'll soon find out if they've hit the jackpot or if they've just created another overhyped tournament that nobody really cares about. What do you think? Are you excited for this new format, or do you think it's just too much football crammed into an already crazy calendar? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.